Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in the truth. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Right, and I want to do a quick video on putting it in your mind to think about what are you doing with your time, right? Are you utilizing your time properly, right? Are you filling your spirit, right, increasing, right, in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? Are you reading? Are you praying? Are you fasting? Are you teaching your family? Are you, just doing the work of the Lord, man? Or are you just sitting on your hands, man, at home, behind the keyboard, watching videos all day and really not doing anything, man, right? Not passing on the words of the Lord, right? Not doing anything, sitting on the knowledge that you have and not, adding unto it. You got to think about it, right? Because the Lord, only gave you a little bit of time on this earth. And we all, as so-called mankind, have one sentence and one sentence only. And that's death, right? Those that are going to pass on in this life, right? Before the coming of the Lord or whatever it is, right? But you never know when your time is, right? And you never know, even before then, the Lord can blow your candlestick out, man. Because you're not utilizing his spirit. You're not putting effort to gain the knowledge to pass on the treasures to the next man, right? Or the next sister, or even your children, right? So you have to ask yourself, Jake, what am I doing with the Lord's money? What am I doing with his treasures? What am I doing with his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man? Right? You got to think about it, man. With the time you're given on this earth. See, from the beginning, our forefathers, they lived a long time, right? They lived to 900 years and longer, 800, so on and so forth, man. But the Lord took away that time, man. He dwindled down the lifespan of men. And nowadays, Jake is lucky to make it to 60. Shoot, Jake in the hood, man, lucky to make it to 21, right? So what are you doing with the time, man? All right, let's get a quick precept real quick. All right, this is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17 and verse 1. And it reads, "The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endowed them with the strength by themselves and made them according to his image." Right? So the Lord gave you few days, man, and a short time. But within that short time, he gave you power. He endowed you power. He gave you your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, right? The tools necessary to build a kingdom, man, right? To build up your brethren, your family, bring them to the light, man, to repentance, things of that nature. But are you utilizing those tools that the Lord gave you? Are you actually walking in the image of the Lord? Right? What is that image? The Lord said, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect," right? So walking perfect is what? Walking in the laws of God. Are you doing those things, man, with the short time that you have been given? Are you doing the things necessary that the Most High has given you and commanded you to do in these last days? You have to ask yourself that, man. Right? You have to ask yourself. Because everything in this world is vanity. Everything outside of this truth is vanity. All this stuff is for naught. It means nothing. Of course, you got to work. You got to pay bills, feed your family, things of that nature. Right? But even all those things are vanity, man. Right? This truth is the only thing that matters, man, at the end of the day. Do you want salvation or not? Right? Are you being an evangelist? Are you being an apostle? Right? Are you traveling? Are you, you going to camp? Are you gathering with your brethren, your sisters? Right? Are you reading, praying, and fasting? Are you doing these things, man? You got to ask yourself, how often are you doing these things? Is it every blue moon, every now and then? Or are you consistent? Are you diligent in this walk? Right? Let's get another precept, man. Let's go to Genesis. Right? Genesis chapter 49 and verse number 47, I believe. Let's see. Genesis 47 and verse number 9, it says Salaki, it says I'm gonna start at verse 8. And it says, and Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou? And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years, few and evil. Right? He said, I'm 130 years old, man. But they are few. And these days are evil, man. They're vanity. Right? 130 years to us now, man, is a lifetime. Right, Jake? You barely making it to 50 years old now, man. But even Jacob said, look, man, my years of my pilgrimage is 130 years, few and evil have the days of my years of my life been, and have not obtained unto the days of the years of thy life of thy fathers, in the days of their pilgrimage, man. Right? Because he knew his forefathers lived for a mighty long time, man. And he didn't get to obtain those things, man. Right? But in that few days that he had, man, Jacob was very diligent, man. He taught his family. He worshiped the Most High. He did those things and utilized his time that he had to magnify the name of the Lord, man, to do the work, man. Jacob was a mighty forefather, and that's an example that we must follow, man. It's our forefathers. To be diligent, to be strong, to be rooted, to be grounded in this walk, man. And to make our calling and election sure in these last days. Always knowing that we must be doing the Father's work first before anything else. Right? Just like Yahushua said, man. Right? As a matter of fact, let me get there real quick. It's the book of John, right? It's the book of John, chapter 9 and verse number 4. Right? And it reads, it says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work, man. Right? As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Right? So as long as you hear, the Lord told you to show forth your light. Right? And the Lord said you should be following after the example of Yahushua, man. Right? In these last days. So it says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work, man. So that day is going to come to when you can't do no work, man. Right? All hell is going to break loose. The Lord is going to take the word from the earth, man. The wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding from the earth, man. Right? He might take your candlestick from you if you're not using it properly. Or he might put you to death, man. He might, make you fall asleep, man. Right? But in that time, before that happens, what have you been doing? Because everything has been recorded now, what you've been doing, and those things are going to follow you, man. They're going to follow you. Right? They're going to be your so-called ticket into them gates, man. Lord willing, we're saved by hope for sure, but those things are going to follow you, man. The Lord is going to weigh those things in the balance. What have you been doing since you've been here? Right? Let's get another precept real quick on that. Right? I'm going to get one or two more. Right? This is the book of Revelation chapter 9, man. Right? The book of Revelation chapter 9. Let's start at verse number 8. And it reads, and they that, Salakia, matter of fact, let me get Salaki, I didn't want that yet. Let me get I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes real quick, right? Let's get the classic, right? Ecclesiastes. Right, let's get that. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes, right? Chapter 9, and we're gonna start at verse number. Let's start at verse number 8, and it reads, "Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment," man. So the Lord said, don't let your head lack any ointment, man. Don't lose the spirit that the Lord gave you. Don't lose the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding that the Lord gave you. And it says, live joyfully with the wife of whom thou lovest. And who's that wife, man? Wisdom, right? The wife of your bosom. That's who you're supposed to be ravished with, man. Right from your youth. And it says, all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun. All the days of thy vanity, for that is thy portion in this life. And in thy labor, which thou takest under the sun. It says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest, man. So once you're dead, it's over with, man. And once you're laying in that grave, right, everything is done and solidified. So whatever you have been doing since you've been here, man, it's going to be set in stone, and it's going to follow you, man. It's going to follow you from there on out, man. And those things are what you're going to be judged on, right? Were you wicked or were you righteous? Or was the balance of wickedness less than the righteousness, or was it more than the righteousness? Right? The Lord is going to weigh these things in a balance, man. And you got to consider that in these last days, man. Have I been sitting around freaking off way too much, man? And spending up my spiritual money, my oil, things of that nature by not doing the things that I ought to be doing? Right? Or have I been diligent, man, in my walk? Right? Let's get this last precept. Let's go back to Revelation, right? Let's get that. This is the book of Revelation, chapter, I believe it's 14. 14 and verse number I'll start at verse 12. It says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of a Mashiach. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth, yea, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. Right? So it says, blessed is the dead that die in the Lord. Right? Meaning keeping his commandments, his laws, his statutes, and the faith in Christ, man. Right? Walking in righteousness, man, in the light thereof. Blessed are those saints, man, that they may rest from their labors, man. You have to labor while you're here. You have to put forth the work, man. Put your hand to the plow and do it with all your might. It says, and their works do follow them. So you got to ask yourself, man, what have you been doing while you've been here, man? Are you doing enough? Or are you sitting on the Lord's treasure, man? You got to think about it in these last days and examine yourself. Right? But with that, I hope it was edifying. You take these precepts and apply them to your life, man, and think about it. We're in the fourth quarter. Shalom.